February 25th, 20 minutes past 2 p.m. District Court, Courtroom number 9. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, please take the stand? Miss Lana Skye, you're the Chief Prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all I've done for these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Skye. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Of course, the truth. The thing she definitely says all the time. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. I mean, biologically, that's true. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only one who can give us the only chance we have to get Gant. I mean, she could just say everything Phoenix has said is true, and then boom. I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. I mean, it's not true because there's evidence of Emma being involved. Are you sure this is your testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana, if this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. You've been telling us all sorts from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. It really more feels like she's sacrificing herself because she's stupid. But what if she's telling the truth? She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Yep. This is no time to start second-guessing myself. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Okay. Question everything. How many years? Yeah, how many years exactly? Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see, there was 24 then. So that would have been 5 years? Detective Gant and Detective Skye were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases. She must have been good coming from the same school as Mia. Damon Gant was a respectable detective, that's why. That's what someone being blackmailed would say. But think about it, Miss Skye. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. Then why are you bleeding? And? Did you do so to help your sister? Joe Doc was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense. I don't know, she killed the wrong person, to be fair. I'd call it an accident more than self-defense. If it was Joe Doc who died, then yeah. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Alana, so that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago? When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seemed I was the first person to discover the scene. The Prosecutor Award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? Prosecutor Marshall died from the unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. In reality, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up by being killed by Doc? Something like that. Is that so? What happened to the other murder weapon? Doc was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh? That was lying on the floor a little distant away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. This is not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. All just to protect me. So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. You planted the tip of Doc's knife into the... and then moved... What? But why? Why would you do this? You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of others. Yeah, why did you move the body? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. Where the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Skye moved the body. Pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. Pieces of the jar, you mean? Yes. This wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Doc committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. So, when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered into pieces. If you look at the crime scene, it would clear right away what happened. You know, Marshall was dead and Doc was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle. I see. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. Well, it couldn't have, because how would they have written their name? But I have a feeling there's more to it than that. There must be a contradiction here, somewhere. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. I may as well. Why not? It's the last one. So you rearranged the crime scene? Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like a murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period. Are you so desperate to hide the facts? You're willing to risk the death sentence? She's lying. She did so that I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying. Looks like she's determined to protect you in the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself. There's no way she could have done it alone. I've got to get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. Yep. Near the end. Oh, because of the jar. Okay. The jar itself? Oh, the music stopped, that's good. Miss Skye, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery, the scene when Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I'm compelled to bring that to everyone's attention. A significant contradiction with your testimony. A contradiction in my testimony? You testified, and I quote, The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. That's right. Do you have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in those final moments. Exactly, so... And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not have yet have been broken before he died. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. Yeah, she's got bandages on her hand. Order. Order! Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor? It seems you're in the dark as much as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony. Jar and the message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were were large, and I'm sure I got all of them. But you didn't. All I could think was about wiping them clean before they were discovered. Oh, that's a nice and short one, okay. You mean you're the one who wiped away the message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Doc was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Again. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. Question. So the jar was already broken? It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier. It certainly looks as feeble as the defense's case. Excuse you? We've prolonged it this long. If that was the case, then it wouldn't have been feeble. But not as feeble as the judge's judgment. Yeah. You're an honest detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar piece? Normally I would have. But it was dark in the room, and I didn't have time to check it out. So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar? No. If I had known, I would have gathered all of the pieces and ground them into dust. Probably is true. Well, that helps my case. Lana, you do that for me? It seems you two might make up yet. Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was. If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry. I was. I knew I had to destroy evidence before anyone came. This is rather shocking. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. I'm afraid this action of yours revealed that what happened already. What do you mean? If you really thought Doc was the killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. What else could I have done in that situation? Lana, I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. But you didn't. But how could you see with the powers out? It should have been pitch black in that office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now I carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. You didn't. Do you illegally rearrange the crime scene? As opposed to legally rearranging it? I guess that's what an investigation does, I suppose. Never mind me. Yes, I don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm sorry, Lana. I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I've treated you so badly all this time. It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. After we've gotten to the bottom of this incident. No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office. More contradictions have surfaced in a testimony. Your sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this right away. But she's not doing this the right way. I think I finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. Because you didn't get every piece. Yeah, final piece found in the thing. Miss Guy, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the Chief's safe? But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about this final piece. It was... there was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped off the blood. Or wiped blood off them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. Gant that got there first, got the biggest piece, hit it, and told everything else was, yeah. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first person to show up to the scene of the crime. Chief Gant got there before you, which, I mean, it would make sense. Because Marshall and Gant were investigating him, interrogating. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be good. Oh, that may well be. But everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Can you believe that? Didn't know you needed dentures. Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Well, that... There was no way a name could have been written on shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying that this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was the first there... The question is, if he did arrive first, why did he hide the fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? No. Are we just interrogating the judge now? Wait. I'm not the one on trial here. Do not deflect it to my client, Your Honor. Answer the question. Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar, and purposely hid one of the broken pieces. The question, what is this action called? Obstruction of justice, right? You're hiding evidence. Fabrication of evidence. What? Well, you're not fabricating evidence, you're removing it. But why would Chief Gant do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happens afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister killed Emma, the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence to incriminate Dark. Sparing Emma, and therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the Chief's puppet. No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the Chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. If we're defending someone, how is it a foul lie? It's a lie to protect, not a lie to accuse. We're much better than prosecutors. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client. That is also true. Yeah. I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. For the past 4 cases I've taken, Your Honor, my clients have been found innocent and someone else has been proven guilty. How dare you? Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana may be right after all. What do you mean, right? So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright? Miss Skye, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accident killing Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Miss Skye, if you will. So Emma didn't kill... well, that would just imply that if Emma didn't kill Marshall, the only other person who could have would have been Gant. Which, I mean, he's got the build, to be fair. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. The cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there's a possibility that it will if you tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw. Alright. The witness may testify once more for the final time. Actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on the suit of armor sword. Emma and Doc were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it already was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Okay, so the idea that Emma could be innocent is what's getting her to tell the truth. Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor sword. You were the only one who saw that. If you only had proof. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. What? To me? What did you give me? Evidence in law? No, that's what Emma provided. It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember a picture like that. Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you. By roll, Mr. Wright, please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any picture from Lana. Lana said she gave it to you this morning. I seem to be remembered getting some from her then. Let's check out the evidence then. This is what I got. Oh! Hey, there's a picture here. You took a picture of this? Oh my god. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this, because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I rearranged everything. Okay. Mr. Wright. Piece cut out from his vest. Could it be? The cloth we found in in Chief Gant's safe. What's this? This is a handprint, isn't it? It is, seemingly. That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Whoever's fingerprints those must be is the real murderer. What? Those fingerprints? They're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with this cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Again. Question everything. Question nothing. Come now, Udgy. This is the poorest excuse for the trial I've ever seen. Mr. Gant, or Chief Gant. What, now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. Didn't you give up that right? I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make a statement of any sort. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back and relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your neck. Okay. So what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No evidence shall be shown without approval of the police department, which is Gant. Unregistered evidence must be relevant to the case on trial. Show us relevancy. No, I don't. But someone does. Someone? So, what's your excuse, Righto? Why have you been keeping quiet about this? Do you have something to show us? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death? Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt? Is this true, Righto? I have a question. How is this relevant to... Yeah, what? If I show the piece of evidence, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you'll be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Sounds like it's telling me to save. Should I present the last piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed? No. Cannot show the evidence. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence that I can present at this point in time. What? You lie? No, actually, the rules, yeah. Has not been approved by the police department. They may, they may be relevant. It's also unregistered as well. Chief Gant, you opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Wright. Why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice something odd about this chest area? It looks like it's been cut out for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the Chief of Police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Way to self-report, man. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto. Well, I can't let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. No, you can't testify. What? You mean you admit to it? I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use this situation to control Lana. I mean, this just proves Lana's innocent, Your Honor. Yeah. So, case closed? Not guilty, right? So you really were manipulating her. I knew Lana. If it made her... But if I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, then she, when she saw the scene, she would ask for my aid. So you assisted this guy. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had to plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Doc convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I had 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance. I was sure my plan would work, but it was always best to be prepared for the worst. I mean, that seems like it's coming back to bite you. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. Kinda seems like you did. See this jar fragment? I hit the most legible part of Emma's name. Half an M. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood from all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on the jar too? Ho ho ho! Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? I mean, yeah. Look at Chief of Police Gant. Doesn't know when to quit. That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean the piece of cloth? Come on, Righto, cough it up already. I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit that then, Chief Gant, that you were hiding the cloth you cut out from the victim's vest in your safe? Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, but being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Yeah. Couldn't present. Foolish move, righto. You should have shown it out before it was too late. It's been a long battle, but the moment of truth has finally arrived. His victory is mine. Yeah, no, I can't show it, because of the rules. No, too late, show the evidence now. Besides, even if I did, it just exposed the poor girl's fingerprints. Right? Think hard over the circumstances. Circumstances? I'm talking about then and now. True. How does this prove Lana killed anyone or not? There's a major difference between the two. Weren't you waiting for the difference? So, Edgeworth figured out my plan. Right. Okay. Conclusive evidence that who actually showed are you sure it's not this? Fine. Fine. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out the piece of the victim's vest. Oh yes. At least you finally brought it into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, prosecution requests to be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather must have been a strong impact to be left so clearly. You mean, it could not have been forged, it must have been authentic, conclusive evidence. Ho ho ho. You're as slow as the uptake is ever worthy. What? Think about it. Brido had all this time to present this evidence, yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would it be? You mean you already know? Do you know whose fingerprints are on this? Mr. Wright? Do you really know? Whoever the fingerprints must belong to are the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. Okay, well, it's the defendant's sister. Emma? Emma Sky? What? They're mine? Sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me? Because you are a blabbermouth. Oh, you really are something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true, tragic but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death. How could you? You monster. This Sky. You knew whose fingerprints were on it all along, and yet you acted like she really didn't. This Sky. It's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. Why, I defended my client. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friends, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cack out your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who really the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? No, that just proves that she shoved. Yeah. I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, the piece of cloth contains a critical condition. Remind me, Phoenix, what is the critical condition? Yep, someone left. Yep. We had really oily hands. Scientifically, my explanation, person slipped and fell on the freshly waxed floor, getting waxed. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. That's the only thing on there. Seems so. What about the description? Evidence for something, but what? Contradiction? What's the fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction, one that proves who the real killer is. Sounds like you're just babbling on about stuff, Phoenix. Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth what could it possibly contradict? Your tyrannical reigns here ends here. Behold. The rules. Oh, it was cut out before he was... Yeah. What exactly is this supposed to be? This is a picture of Miss Skytuck. Take a good look at this. It was cut out before he was... See a piece of his vest cut out? Yes. His shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out all the blood of his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked in blood. That it's only natural. His lungs are no doubt well punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth is clean. Wait, there's no blood on it. Since Emma's fingerprints were on the cloth, there's no doubt she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword all the time. No, that's nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled as we shoved him aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Landeskog, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armor sword? That's... why would you need to at all? Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar of the victim's blood. A jar they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue, and make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out the bloodless piece of the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? That the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. No! It's finally all over. Oh, he's scared. That was close, Righto. You almost had me. Sorry. But you'll have to do better than that. I refute all your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see that piece of cloth? Is illegal evidence. Order, order. What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember Udgy? Earlier, Allrighto here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Righto? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you? Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this time. Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. Because it wasn't relevant at the time, right? Because it was a question about Emma, but it wasn't about the murderer. At the moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. That's not fair. Do you actually think you could beat me in a court? Looks like the last laugh's on you, son. I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, true. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person, assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed legal. Well, Mr. Wright? It seems at last. The time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, do you admit it, that you purposely and illegally concealed this piece of evidence? Saving again. I did not. I admit I refused to present it at one point, so the evidence is illegal. No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Ha. It's not that I didn't present evidence then, it's that I couldn't. What do you mean, you couldn't? There are certain procedures involving when presenting evidence. No, Udgy, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't really believe. There's only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well. Let us settle this once and for all. Earlier you refused to present the evidence. Can you prove your conduct was in violation of the laws? Then show so now. The laws itself? This is your proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at the point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written here in the book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Which, you know, Gant, he brought it up, therefore it's relevant. So, yeah, found this piece of evidence by myself inside your safe. He goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department. Rule 2, unregistered evidence must be relevant to the case on trial. And here's the crux of the matter. You see, at the time, it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? just take a look at this picture and that is a picture of the crime. But can you recall when this picture was presented? It was shown only a few moments ago. No, he's right. At the beginning of today's trial, the piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave the value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me just verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out a piece of the victim's vest. Oh yes. No! It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the Chief of Police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from this victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer. And there's only one person that could be. Damon Gant. The killer was you. Okay. Okay. He's just going through all the laughing and clapping. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years he's been snooping around the department, trying to get something on me. Crimes being committed every day, and yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, and then convinced Bruce Goodman, Detective Goodman. Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you've got to help me. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room, and then all of a sudden he decided to speak out. That's a new thing. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There's too many questions left unanswered. He opened the evidence locker, and as he was talking about evidence, he said, "It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall." Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That was when I saw the accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worried about I was worrying so much about the flaw I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as the crime computer. But everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. Leaving the prosecutor's car aside, how could you get Miss Sky involved in all this? Well, she had much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker. I felt bad about having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So you left the jar fragments in the glove. Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. He's taking this very well, weirdly. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, as much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. You hate yourself? One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring down once... What? To bring them down once you try and go in alone. But he's not, though. He's got me to bounce ideas off of. I guess that means I'm the shoulder angel, he's the shoulder devil of the judge. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Udgy. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel the lunch date. Sorry, old friends. You're not my friend anymore. I'm sorry too, Demigans. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Udgy. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Wright here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melody sounds of a new beginning. That's awfully nice for someone we've just convicted for murder. There are two things I want you to understand. Yes. First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Demigant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All I have done these past 2 years, from the time I had again helped me forge evidence until today. So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My, what high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you just might make it to the top. She's smiling. Who is she? I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Miss Sky. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Aw, he's blushing. Liar. I was worried the pressure might break you, and yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it. I only did my job. In light of this case, it seems as good self-examination is in order for all of us. Miss Sky. Yes, Your Honor. You are innocent of murder, however. Although the chief blackmailed you, the fact that you still acted as his accomplice. The trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand, Your Honor. Is there something amusing about all this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of heavy chains. So, neither guilty nor not guilty. Well, this trial has gone on for too long already. Regarding the charges of murder, the court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty. But forgery, accomplice aiding in murder, guilty. That is all. The court is adjourned. $5 o'clock. It's been 3 hours. Well, 2 hours and 40 minutes. At long last, it's finally over. Emma? Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she was convicted of for a murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now after the trial ended. She smiled. I can see why Mia Faith thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. She smiled. And you do, Mr. Edgeworth. You suffered every bit as much as I have over the past few days. You've done well. She's smiling. You know, I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a single word to me. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. It's always good to see you, Gumshoe. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run around the whole city on duty. And top it all off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding. Are you here because of my sister again? Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal. Me? That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Alana! Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't. I mean, technically he was fired. He's not a detective. Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day 2 years ago was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in all this mess. Sis, I asked Scam to help me cover up the truth that was already covered up. I thought I was doing it for your sake. But now I realize I was wrong. Were you, though? I've changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. That's what, 730 days? Roughly? 730 days and a half. Unless it's leap year, actually. Anyway, I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared of you'd look at me like with those eyes of yours, as opposed to looking at it with eyes of someone else's. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Sis, I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, Emma. Emma! Hooray! Happy times. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do now is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in doing so, we can find the way back to the rightful path. And it is from there we can move on together, forward, for a brighter future. It could be together, why not? At least that's what I felt watching those two sisters make up. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe. Me? Yeah, sorry, it's no longer a detective. Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Edgeworth? Stop hiding and come over here. Ooh, he's mad because he got called out. Where was he hiding? I just came to say congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right, well, I'll be going now. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope that you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptedly, not you. It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth? Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. You despise criminals. I can feel it, you and me, we're the same. We're not so different, you and I. Giving them the Dr. Evil Green Goblin speech. One day you'll understand, and oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see that what it really takes to bring them down once you try and go at it alone. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, both criminals. Were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake, committing crime. You said in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright, and because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this, a pop quiz? Come on, Mr. Wright, show us what Lana was talking about. Evidence, huh? Something that neither... friendship. The friends we made along the way. Is it the... I mean... I don't know. That I would have been able to find on my own. The evidence list? That's the picture I drew. The counterattack began with... our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other half. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. I have time for me to go. Mr. Edgeworth? If you'll excuse me, there's still some loose ends I need wrapping up. Who are you killing? Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Who are you killing? Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember, you can let what happened... What? You can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, Wright? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in the court. Farewell. Damn, he's quitting. I better get going too. Okay. I'll be by to visit you soon. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Scientific investigation with a duck again. Here, here's a little something for you. Scientific investigation? It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis. I will. And so another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. Damn, imagine starting your life at both 16 and what, 29? Also, hold on, 16 and 29, what's the age gap? $13 years? I can't imagine having a sibling 13 years, both either older or younger than me. And as for me, I think it's time I started on my new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Well? Don't go tracking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this, but I thought you said thought you said it was okay. Actually, he said he won't tell if we won't. Yeah, well, that may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. How much money do you have? Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side. Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here's on who's footing the bill. Huh? What, you think I can afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, but yeah, he's paying to work. Thank you, Mr. Wright, you're the best. Why is it? I suddenly feel like I want to scream. Hey, got an idea. Why don't we all go to pay it off together? Yeah, that's great. What money do you have, Emma? Come on, guys, let's go. Fair enough. And I believe that is the end of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, the first Phoenix game. I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of. Okay. Is she pleased to study under a coroner? This is on its own. I don't think I'll have a chance to read it in time. But yes. I'll let the credits roll, which I assume this is part of. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in a different series. With that, enjoy the credits, and goodbye.